Hello YouTube! Today is Sunday. We are going to make something really cool. It's called a solar graph. The only problem is it takes maybe 6 months or a year before we see the final result. But what it basically is photosensitive paper wrapped up inside an empty beer can with a little pinhole in it. So inside the can, it's basically completely dark except for a tiny bit of light that enters the pinhole. So let me finish this beer, which by the way is a Sol beer, which is perfect for the day of the sun, right? And we can get started. So I'm just gonna pause the video and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I just want to preface this by saying I don't drink a lot of beer, and this is a tall boy, so if I seem a little happy, it's probably because I just guzzled whatever this is, I don't know, half a liter. First thing we do, I think, is we open the beer can, and it's pretty cool. Apparently, you can open it just like a normal can, and there you go, a nice clean pinhole camera. Next thing we do is make a hole. I didn't really plan this in advance, so let's try. No, I'm gonna need something better. Okay, hold on, I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back, and I have an assistant to help me. He's kind of colored like the sun too, so that's pretty perfect. It's a little kitten that I adopted. Anyway, okay, let's get back to business. So, what we're gonna do is take the solar paper, put it in the beer can, make a hole. We can do that right now. All right, I'm back, and I think we're ready. So, got some scissors. You can make a little hole in the can. Just a pinhole, like that will do. And then, as I said, this is Russian solar paper that I got on eBay, so I'm hoping that it works. It's about 25 years old, but the guy assured me that theoretically it'll work. We'll see in about a year. Anyway, this I think is the light sensitive side, so I'm really gonna quickly drop that in there. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Now we just seal up the end. Some people make a little shutter that you can slide on and off, but I don't really understand the point of that. I'm gonna put a little piece of tape inside just to hold it in place so it doesn't move, because we don't really want it moving over the course of the year. Not that it would, but I think even little micro vibrations could make it kind of move around in there. So there, I just taped at the top there, it shouldn't move, and really quickly seal the top so you don't get any light coming in. And we're pretty much done. I mean, that's pretty much all there is to it. Now, we just have to figure out a cool place to put it. I almost made a huge mistake, because I've got to make sure that the sunlight can get through the hole. So I've got to line the paper up properly so that the gap in the paper, where's the hole? I think I'm drunk. Okay. So the gap here has to line up with the shutter so the light can get in. That would have been a really dinkus thing to do. Tape goes back on. Not pretty, but I think it'll do. And hopefully I haven't overexposed the paper now. But there you go, there's pinhole camera solar graph. So, and actually I guess the solar graph is technically the term for the resulting photo that comes out of there. So this is not a solar graph yet. This is just a pinhole camera. The solar graph will be the photo, whatever it is that comes out of here. And maybe I'll put some links in the bottom, and you can see some of these things are super cool. And sometimes the paper, if it's aged or imperfect, it actually adds sort of some artistic value, I think, to the final solar graph. So I'm really curious to see what happens with this paper. I'm not convinced that it's perfectly good paper at 25 years old, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. I'm excited. I forgot to mention one thing. A lot of people make a little shutter So they cover the hole in the can until they're ready to place it somewhere, so you don't get any incidental light. Let's say you're gonna put this somewhere in a week. You don't want light getting in there for a week, random light messing up the solargram. So there's the little shutter, and I'm gonna go put this somewhere. It's a beautiful day. It's Sunday, so maybe I'll go and enjoy the sun. Hope you are too. Bye for now. Hello again. I just wanted to mention one other thing, kind of as a public service announcement. Responsible drinking is very important. So kids, if you're gonna make one of these with a Sol beer can, that's fine. You can even drink the beer. Just make sure it's 0% alcohol. So after thinking it over, I've decided to put the can in one of my favorite spots in Cancun, and it's the beach where I buried my dog recently. And it seemed to me sort of a poetic place to do this because sort of giving new birth. Okay, so I just literally turned the camera 180 degrees, so this is what's behind me, the ocean's behind you, and this is where my dog is buried. And I think I'm just gonna tape this up in the tree somewhere, point it out. When you do these, you gotta make sure that the hole is pointing in the correct direction and that it's really secure. Because obviously what happens, I don't think I did a good job of explaining this, light is trickling in all the time. So anything that's stationary over the course of a year, even though it's just a tiny amount of light that's coming in, over a long period it's going to make an impression on the paper. Anything transient that's moving, it just disappears. It makes such a tiny impression that you can't even see it. So at the end of the year, or 6 months, or any extended period, you get these really cool images with just nothing but the permanence. Anything transient is just gone. Actually, there's a photographer, I can't remember his name, and he drove around in a truck, a giant pinhole camera truck, and left it in New York City and London and a whole bunch of places, and it was really cool because you'd have these enormous images of, you know, places that you're familiar with, but the images have no people, no cars, nothing that moves because it's impermanent. So it's really quite an artistic thing. Anyway, I'm a little emotional because my dog's right here, but yeah, I'm gonna tape this up in a tree here. All right, so I've got the camera set up. I just wanted to point something out, a little trick. If you're using duct tape and you tape the tape to itself, it sticks a lot better. So I've done that, and I'm gonna put some more tape on it when I shut the camera off, and hopefully this will be here in a year. It's pretty amazing, the things that disappear here in Mexico. I've lived here every winter for a few years, and the things that people take are astonishing. I once had someone steal a locked bicycle lock, like a U-lock that was locked, and I left it lazily outside my house thinking no one's ever gonna take this. I was in a hurry, threw it behind a bush, came back, a few hours later it was gone. Another time I was riding my bicycle and the chain broke, and I was in a hurry, so I just left the chain in the road because I was going downhill, and I thought, crap, I'll just go back and get the chain in an hour or whatever. And I went back an hour later, the chain was gone. Brand new chain, pretty new, I had to buy a new one. It's crazy the things that disappear. So I'm not the only dinkus out there. My mask totally just broke and the wind is keeping it on my face. But I'm almost done shooting, so I'm not even gonna bother fixing it. Anyway, just wanted to say goodbye, have a beautiful day, enjoy your Sunday. I would enjoy my other Sol beer, but I actually made it into another camera. So anyway, I'm out. Till next time, cheers. I'm back. This is really embarrassing, but I actually almost forgot to take the shutter off the beer can. So I'd have come back in a year and it would be completely black. So I'm glad I remembered that, but really, I am such a dinkus. This is embarrassing, but I almost forgot to take the shutter off the... I'm such a dinkus, seriously.
too.